Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of the vlogs. Today, as you can tell from the title, we're talking about off-season once again and whether you should take a break and stop training or whether you should continue, and the benefits of both. But right now, we're letting Yam get to the toilet. Oh yeah, buddy! Yam. Yam. Not paying attention, yeah, but first things first, as always, we've got to head into the club. I think Adam and I are going to do a little erg together. Adam for the Yam squad that have been around since the start. Adam and I rode in a pair in 2016, 2017. And then he stayed on the team and then I've came back here. But now, let's get into the club, get on the erg, get stretching. And I'm going to make a stretching video at some point as well. But let's get to it. And we've finished off that little bit of a session. Adam decided that he didn't want to do 16k UT2, that he wanted to, since we're only doing one workout today, he wanted to be able to get through it a bit quicker, make it a bit more interesting. And like I talked about in yesterday's video about cross training, even though we're on the rowing machine, which is technically cross training for rowing, making it interesting, making it more enjoyable, making it so you can do it more consistently is a big part of cross training, especially during off season. So Adam suggested doing 2k at UT2, 2k UT1, 4 times, so 16k total, and we ended up doing, well, I ended up doing probably 2k UT2, 2k UT1 3 times, and then the last one I had to slow down a bit for Adam because he needed that break, and then the last 2k at UT1 was reasonably quick, and we both sort of went around 6:20 for that last one, but obviously we're chilling out for the first part of the workout. Chilling out, we're not going flat out, we're UT2, UT1 for the first part of the workout and then going big, so we have that juice left in the tank. But after that session, obviously what we have to do is fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. We've got some meatloaf here and Yam's going to have his lunch as well, trying to feed him, get him growing and giving him the fuel he needs to keep growing healthily. Stop eating the table. The table is not fuel or food. Good boy. But Big Phil is coming over as well, and maybe, perhaps, we're gonna go paddleboarding, but we'll see later on. I don't think Yam will be very comfortable on a paddleboard, and I'm not 100% stable on a paddleboard, so I don't want to get us on there and have Yam fall in and be panicked. But that's for later on. Right now, it's fueling up time. Oh yeah. And we've got Adam, my old pair partner, and Big Phil, the Erg Monster.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, I survived.
I'm here just for the dog.
As is everybody, it seems.
No one actually likes Cam.
Ah,
Just Yam.
just Yam, and now it's time to fuel up with Callum Johnson's puppy having a little playtime. And that is some of the guys and girls on the floating fortress that we've been using a little bit for the Henley Festival here. So that happens after Henley Royal. Behind me, and they use sort of the tents and whatnot. They're up there for the festival itself, which is actually a pretty cool event. But we've got some stuff happening here at the club as well. Some bits of painting and sanding going on just now. But we're talking about taking time off, whether you should, whether you shouldn't, if it's good for you, if it's bad for you, and the benefits of either of the two. But as always, it is completely individual, and it's up to you and your coach or whoever writes your program to decide what's best for you. So I'm just offering sort of little bits of advice based on my experience. So this year I've decided not to take time off. I've decided not to take specific, say, a week or 2 weeks completely off, because I feel like last year or the years where I have done that, I have just come off the boil too much and it's taken me too long to get back there. A lot of people say or have different sort of opinions on what goes on with your fitness when you do, as with sanding starts up, when we do take time off. Some people say if you take a week off, it takes you 2 weeks to get back. It takes double the amount of time you take off to get back to where you were. So the longer amount of time you take off, the longer it takes to get back. But other people, the opinion is it depends how long you've been training, so it kind of changes. And so what I've been doing this summer is, or so far anyway, it's only been sort of a week, is take time off. So like I've been talking about, no stress, continue what I'm doing and just enjoying the time off, and no sort of pressure to do anything, but trying to do something every day that I enjoy. So today Adam and I did a harder workout, and I've been talking about dropping the intensity down so that there's no pressure on the erg, just kind of not going through the motions, but just going through literally the correct motions, and then eventually, as I get more and more used to the machine, get more and more used to doing the exercise that I've not necessarily been used to because I've been trying to do high intensity, then the splits do come down, and then my heart rate comes down, and then we can start speeding up, etc. But also, there are times when taking the time off isn't just about sort of the fitness side of things. Taking time off for you mentally can be absolutely massive. For when you're training here in Henley and racing here, you can especially all rowing circles or all sports in general, you can get stuck in the circle of that sport, of that sort of activity. And especially around here in Henley, the town's so small, you can kind of like bump into everyone if you're walking around the street, and sometimes it is just good to get out of the circle and experience something different and refresh yourself a little bit. And that can be anywhere. Sometimes it's better if you live in a busier place, that sort of feeling of being in a smaller circle can sort of appear slower, can happen slower, but no matter what you do, I always feel like it does happen eventually. So taking time off can be more of a mental sort of thing rather than physical, but there are reasons or things to both, or advantages to both, that you kind of have to look at for you as an individual. So taking time off, recovery is key on both sides, mental and physical. Should you take time off? Like I said, it's up to you. Do you feel sort of under pressure to just perform in UT2? Do you feel sort of it's difficult to just turn up to practice? Do you feel like it's just everything is just a bit meh? Well, maybe it is time to just take a little bit of a break. But obviously, like, you sometimes just can't just take a break. Sometimes I'm very lucky to have a little bit of time off just now in the off season, so I can reduce the intensity, can reduce the pressure, and enjoy the weather and enjoy just being around here rather than constantly, okay, I need to do this workout today and that workout today, and of course playing with Yam as well. He's very, very tired from playing with Callum Johnson's puppy earlier, but he's taking his time off today, just having a rest. And maybe it is time for you to take time off. But again, the advantages of not taking time off is you sort of don't, you maybe come off the boil a little bit, like I'm saying. I'm only doing one session a day and making sure it's not too high intensity. So it's kind of taking things over, but again, getting used to the sort of workouts again. But a disadvantage of not taking time off is that you don't have time off. You don't have that time to have that rest. And so it can be a fine line between, like what I'm doing now is I'm training still, but not taking time off. And what I'm trying to do outside of training and even during training is just not taking it too seriously. So recording what I'm doing, making sure I know what I'm doing, making sure what I'm doing is effective training wise, but at the same time making sure that training isn't too stressful. So it's not a case of, oh my goodness, I have to train for this, I have to go tomorrow and do this, I have to do this split, I have to do this speed, my heart rate has to be this. It's more of just, okay, today I'm doing 16k, yesterday I did this split, today we'll see if we can do that split, and if that happens, that's good. If we go faster, that's good. If it has to be a little bit slower, that's okay too. But like I said, there are advantages and disadvantages to taking time off and not taking time off. But for me, this year, not taking full, just no training time off is more of the answer for me, because I feel mentally fresh as it is. I'm not turning up to training and being like, oh, I don't want to be here. So that's one sign that if I do feel like that, then maybe I should be taking a break. I don't feel, with me doing one session a day, it's sort of physical, I'm reasonably fresh physically, so I'm okay to keep doing that until I feel like, okay, let's step it up and go into sort of proper training, especially when we're going into the season anyway, sort of at the beginning of September. So I have a little bit of time just to relax, chill out, and have a little bit of time to chill out. But I think that is the points that I was trying to get across about time off. Let me know in the comments below what you think of them and what you think of time off. Are you taking time off this year? Not necessarily now, but at any points during the year, or are you just going to keep pushing through? And if you are, what do you do on your time off if you're taking time off, and also what do you do during the off season if you are not taking time off? Do you take sort of the intensity down and keep going? Do you work on something different, on your weaknesses maybe, or maybe even your strengths? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow.